You know, I was gonna try to be all slick. But honestly, I wasn't anticipating this. But like, probably be. You're right. It probably would be good to like put the sound on. That would probably be a good thing. Here I am. I was sitting over here balancing out the sound. Yeah. Yeah, it'd probably be good. This is awkward. Yeah, it would help. Here, let's just go back. Sound up. There we go. Hey, there it is, EJ. You gotta hit the unmute button, idiot. Wait a minute. Hold on. Bird! Alright, let's watch. Up. Alright.
Okay, I see a bunch of corrosion stuff here. So I'm gonna take these recorders to the car and put them in a safe place. I'm just gonna stick the whole blimp in there.
Corrosion stuff at 49?
We're working on it.
LC41? Please tell me more. Hey, I've been there. Alright.
Yeah. Here's that recorder too, by the way.
Oh.
It's October 3rd, prepping for recording a rocket launch of all things. How crazy is that? An Atlas V.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Pretty rare thing, especially for games. I've never seen it done before. It's been a long time in the works. There's a lot to it. I'm setting up multiple recorders and multiple microphones. It's kind of like you're throwing dice and you're just hoping that some of this stuff works, but you have to plan for failure too. This is a great opportunity for me to...
Wait. Sorry. Yeah, okay, cool.
Great opportunity for me to, like, from the source, have something that I can start with and manipulate and make our own and really make it Kerbal. I don't know what else is bigger than this.
Oh, that road.
I mean, it's like one of the most powerful man-made things in the world. Let's start. We have tie downs. We'll be fine.
Damn, those microphones, though. It's SES20, SES21.
I'm gonna stick 4 microphones up top here, and then 4 microphones further out, and then I'm gonna do a further rig like this, I believe in there or in here.
4072814.
That scared me. I'm just trying to run through every plan I had and make sure we're covered and safe, and trying to accommodate for water spray and chemicals. And
don't cross the yellow line.
They're saying that the GFI is kind of popping, so I may have to run on battery power. I think I'm okay. These are freaking lightning towers. Wow.
Gaff tape.
I have to tape them so they don't fall down. We were gonna bag them, but we didn't have time to get sand. But this is gonna work great. This is much closer than I thought we were gonna be. Kind of scary seeing it up close like this.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Don't cross the yellow line. They get mad when you do that.
Does this look okay? It's mic placement.
Those are big boy mics.
Would you mind tapping on each of the mics? All right. Front, left. Probably 1, 2, 3, 4. Setting all the settings. Make sure you're getting level. I'm getting some serious hum. 17 minutes.
You catch the mic.
Okay.
Lightning tower.
Here's hoping. Thank you.
Just saying, it's supposed to ground. That's what it's supposed to do.
Whew. That was a mad dash.
Yeah.
I have been trying to go to a lot of analog sources, trying to find sound effects and stuff to record. So as far as switches and stuff like that, we had a really cool mishap in our office when an espresso machine malfunctioned and there was steam leaking everywhere. And I thought this would be great for audio suppression. It sounds great. Just at random, it was making these noises, like not even turning the nozzles or anything, just like, whoa, this is scary. Most
like
iconic sound is definitely engines. I mean, that's the staple of this game. I've been trying to get down there to record. I think it's important because it shows that we care about the authenticity of the recording process, and I think it also kind of informs me as well, just to be in person and making sure that translates to all the other engines in the game. And then we have our own original source, too, that we can draw from that nobody else has. I mean, rockets are really, really noisy, but they do have, like, their own unique signature, too. And there's never been any game that's done rocket audio to this extreme, ever. But I really wanted just to take it to the next level.
I was going to say, Johan, you heard it, too. I'm like, is that me?
So we're going into the VAB. The plan is that we're going to record some of the ambience in the hall. There's supposed to be some like actual activity going on the floor. So that's going to be awesome to actually record real VAB sounds for our VAB. I'm hoping that we actually get sounds of nothing and sounds of actual machinery. But the nothing is really important because I'm going to actually bring some balloons and stuff like that I can pop just to get some reflections in the room so I can analyze that and use it for reverb impulses.
That guy's sound engineers. That's not the VAB, that's a clean room. But also...
Awesome.
Yeah.
Even if it was just me
clean
using
room are
those
weird.
reverbs as a reference and being able to manipulate other reverbs to sound like that, it's a huge, huge step forward. There's an element of realism that's there that it is not matched. It's pretty amazing, and I'm really, really striving to do that with audio, to be as realistic as possible. Test 416. Test PZM. Great.
It's a C.
Got 4 recorders going.
Yep, that is
All right.
the C3PF.
I'm set.
Word. This is great. Hahaha. Ohayou gozaimasu, Michu. That's the gantry crane. Oh, they recorded the gantry crane. Listen to the acoustics in a clean room. They're perfect. Just randomly. This is just like, yes!
Atención. Atención. Aviso. Aviso.
Cuidado. Piso mojado.
I'm glad we did that.
They're using Mazax down there. You see that? And a Bridgeport. Oh! Oh, I wish I had those tools in here. Dude, they recording a Bridgeport mill. Very nice. Piso mojado. Sí. Atención.
hold the end of this? I just wanna
ITL
get
Causeway.
as far as I can. But there's a plug on the next one. I think it's 4.
See the yellow line? Don't cross the yellow line. Don't.
We're so much closer than I thought we were gonna be.
Yep.
Do you mind clamping this, like on that back rail there? 1, 2, 3, 4,
Just listen,
5,
Pogo.
6.
Trust me.
Good.
Is the wind scaring you?
I mean, I have pretty good wind protection, but it's really windy. I was more concerned that it wasn't going to launch, but now that we think it's going to, in another, what, 15 minutes? 5:14? 20 minutes? Okay. I'm going to start hitting record here. So I'm going to...
Guys, I don't like pausing videos, especially like this. I hate it when people do this, so I try not to do it. But also, headphone users, I have a feeling this is going to be loud.
Try not to wear headphones
Just
during this. I just want
headphone
to
users.
just want to feel it all.
Yeah, that's the right move. This guy knows.
Crazy this is happening.
Everything's go, guys.
Everything's go? You got a lens cap on.
Everything's not a go. Everything's a go.
Tascam. Nice mics. Those are
Everything's good. This is happening.
Tascam mic.
This is happening.
All right, we're going maximum.
Guys,
Slick 41. Atlas
4
5.
minutes?
That's final count. 4 minutes.
Wonderful. We got like 1 minute. This is actually happening.
Yeah. Watching launches from there is
5,
nice.
4, 3. We have ignition. 2, 1. Liftoff. United Launch Alliance Atlas 5 rocket.
I love that noise. Such a good noise, dude. Everyone should hear that noise. Go to a rocket launch.
Can't wait to look
listen
this
to that
up.
noise. You've heard nothing like it.
I found the timestamp.
Yeah, that's your spot. That's your working zone.
Okay. That's pretty sweet.
That's nice.
It's super loud. Oh, yes. There's a lot to work with.
Yeah, you gonna have to clean that up a little bit, but also, oh. Can I just... Excuse me for a second, please. I just need to...
This is actually happening.
5, 4, 3. We have ignition. 2,
I love that
1.
noise.
Liftoff. United
Power! You know what? Just need to. Just... Actually, you know what? You know what video we need? Here's what. You know what we need to do? Here's what we need to do. Where is it? Where's the video? No, not that video. No, we need... There's a video. There's a video floating around on the internet, and it is quite literally the best. That audio was good. Oh, hey, Das. That audio was good, but this video that I'm telling you about, oh, hey, Das, has some of the best. It's the best one. This one, right here. I don't know who took this video. This was the first Falcon Heavy mission. So everyone should go hear a rocket launch. You should go and see one. Do what you gotta do. It is the wildest thing ever. I've said this many times on stream, but you want to hear what one sounds like? This is the closest audio I've heard to what it sounds like. It is loud. It sounds like the air is being ripped apart. This is the closest one. For whatever reason, this Falcon Heavy landing, this is the closest one I've heard that sounds like, I don't know why, the way this was recorded, this sounds like it sounded. I was there that day. This sounds exactly like it's supposed to sound. This is also a headphone users, fellas. Headphone users.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Listen to this.
Yeah, there they are. Coming in like meteors, real fast. They're gonna do a final burn here in just a moment.
This gets loud. You've been warned.
There's final burn 1 and 2. 2 candles coming down.
There they are.
Double sonic booms.
That's what rocket engines sound like. That's what rocket engines sound like. You hear that ripping noise? It sounds like paper tearing. That's what they sound like. It is the wildest noise. Microphones don't usually catch it pretty well. Now, the KSP video, that was pretty close. This one, this is the closest. This is the closest I've ever heard. I don't know why. It must have been the way the sound was reverberating off the Slick 37 gantry, because that's where this is filmed from. But, oh my gosh, that noise. It sounds like it's... Oh, dude, it doesn't even... It's ridiculous. Can you link the video? I've been trying to find it. Sure. You hear that noise? That noise. Right here.
There's final burn 1 and 2. 2 candles coming down.
There they are.
Double sonic booms.
Right here. That noise. The thunder. Dude, I'm in this shot, Warder. Das, Big D, Popsky, Space Pat, we're all in this shot. We're over there. We're on the other side of these antennas. In fact, in Das's video where I'm yelling like a madman, you can see that antenna. We're over here on the NASA Causeway. We were about as close as this, maybe a little bit further, but it was, dude. That day was righteous. The first time those things came back. Are they going supersonic still right before the landing burn? They're transonic right about here. They really only get into transonic, so like below 0.8 Mach, like right around here. That's why you hear those sonic booms. You got to remember, sonic booms are directional. They're directional sonic booms. So this is why you don't hear a sonic boom like on the way up, for instance. If you were underneath the rocket and it was flying, you'd hear the sonic boom on the way up. Like, but yeah, they're transonic here, right before the landing burn. The angle's interesting. Dude, when I tell you, this is, like, the other thing about this video, and you guys are looking at it. The other thing about this video, Falcon flies. It flies. I'm telling you. That you guys know when I land MLV and it comes in at some ridiculous angle, and they're like, ah, Falcon 9 doesn't do that. Well, also, look at what those grid fins do. Those things are flying, dude. I wouldn't say flying. It's guided munition. They're doing a guided munition. But, I mean, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so cool.
There they are.
Double sonic booms.
Falling with style. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Can we just no? Where are you? Why you open new tab?
2, 1. Lift off. United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket.
This audio is really good though. Yeah, I know, Byron. I know. That's okay. I love that noise. I love it. Love it. Destination: the moon or Moscow. The planets or Peking. Hey, what's going on? Kiranov, what's going on, buddy? Dude. Everyone should go see one. If you guys even remotely like rockets, you should see one. It is a pretty damn cool thing. Yeah, the thing you don't get from the videos is the chest reverb. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like sitting front row at a Slayer concert, man. Or being in the pit at a Slayer concert, I should say. There ain't no front row, now that I'm really thinking about that one. Is this a new KSP video? Yep. What are rockets, you mother? Yeah, he did. Ravioli, yep. Astro posted a year in review video. I'm waiting for a super heavy landing. That is going to be very loud, Murdoch. Hey, Lunchbox, you guys going to see Starship in February and March? Dude, I have a real problem, Lunchbox. You know what the problem is? When KSP 2 comes out, I'm going to want to play KSP 2. And I'm torn because I also want to watch real rockets fly. Nice hat. Hell yeah, brother. You're on the Skeeter McLeader's YouTube channel. I know. And I'm guessing the heat is like a front row at a Rammstein concert. You can't really feel the heat, Kiranov. You have to be a lot closer. But, dude, it lights up the sky, I'll tell you that. The SRBs on SLS burn extremely bright. It lights up the entire sky. And this is something I tried to convey it pretty dang well. I tried to convey that pretty well, how much that thing lights up the sky. See, here, if you look at Scott's thumbnail, night into day, that thing is super freaking bright. The entire sky gets lit up. Here, let's see. Here, back it up a little bit.
3, 2, 1. Boosters in ignition.
Boosted!
And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together.
Look at
back to the moon and beyond.
I know, like in this shot, you're looking at the rocket, but just look at how bright that is. It's lighting up the entire blast detonation area at 39A. The entire BDA is illuminated, like clear as day if you were standing right here. Imagine the sound that freaking thing made.
All 4 RS-25 engines on the core stage and 2 solid rocket boosters now propelling the vehicle at 128 miles per hour.
Okay, any cinematographers in here, or anybody that knows a little bit about cameras, look at how overexposed this shot is. The crazy thing about this is that the exposure's cranked all the way down, and it's still whiting out the camera. The camera lens can barely take how bright that is.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
It looks like a high exposure shot. It's definitely not. The exposure's like all the way at the bottom. You can tell because of the contrast that you're getting on the bottom of the booster right there. The exposure's all the way down, meaning that so if you don't know about exposure with cameras, if your exposure's all the way down, the shot's going to be really dark because you're letting less light into the lens. If your exposure's really high, you're going to get a lot more light goes into the lens per shot, right? Or per frame in the case of a video camera. This exposure is literally the least amount of light that you could let in. And it's still washing out the camera lens.
Hearing good control on the roll.
That actually launched. What? That thing launched. But CMOS in this camera is crying for mercy right now. It's like literally pointing a camera into the sun. Yes, DG, and I'm with you. It's also misleading because the camera exposure is set to capture the rocket. It makes the footage seem darker than normal. Bingo, Jax. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it, dude. I gotta find that NASA B-roll footage. We'll get to Kerbal now in a moment. We have shuttle missions to launch. Where are you? Let's try SLS launch B-roll. Are there any videos where it was filmed via an adjusted lens camera to lower the brightness? All of them have either they have a fixed exposure, some of them are set to automatic. It really depends. You got it, Foz? My NASA image search Google Foo skills are terrible. So the isolated launch views. Watch this.
It's in Mission Control, Houston. All good.
Yeah. Yeah. That pretty much tells you everything you need to know. It literally looks like sunset. Yeah. Yeah, Waymill, exactly. Learn to bookmark. You learn to shut up. Like, look down here. That looks like sunset, man. You believe that? I didn't even realize KSP2 video guy was saying attention in Spanish because that's what Kerbal is. Atención. Atención. Piso mojado. Cuidado. Por favor, manténgase alejado de las puertas. Please stand clear of the doors. We gotta go to the moon now. We will. We will, don't worry. Don't worry. It's not sunset, it's rocket rise. I just want to, like, I know you see the shot, like, just look, would you just look at it? Would you just look at it? No, take it in for a second. Think about how bright that actually is. You can see everything, clear as day. This is 3 miles away, guys. 3 miles. 5 kilometers. That's bright. Those rockets burn real bright. Unbelievable. So, yeah, that's the new KSP2 video here. I'm going to play it one more time and then we'll load up Kerbal. Once again, headphone users, you have 5 seconds to comply. How many car alarms? Oh, it set off car alarms. I heard them on the cast, Gopi. Headphone users, once again.
Everything's go? You got a lens cap on.
Everything's not a go. Everything's a go.
What's actually happening?
5, 4, 3. We have ignition. 2, 1. Liftoff. United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket.
Oh, mama. That's the best part. Can anybody honestly sit here and say that the developers of this game don't care? Can anybody honestly say that? I've been seeing a lot of people coming in lately, a lot of newer people, and that's fine. Like, all newer faces come in and say like, oh, you know, I'm skeptical about the dev team, blah blah. Can anybody sit here and honestly say that these folks don't care? They absolutely care. Why would they fly him down to Florida to do that? You can mix that audio. You can mix that audio at home. You could do that in a sound booth. You can make that noise with a synthesizer. You can absolutely do it. And a good sound editing program. But no. It has to be real. That has to be a real noise. It has to. You have to record a rocket. Like, what? You're making a game about rockets. You're not going to record a rocket? Now, with KSP1, they didn't have the budget to do that. But they do with KSP2. It's okay to be anxious about a sequel. That's fair, Hellfish. But I think I think we got a winner here, dude. From what I've seen, I think we got a winner here. Okay? I got to listen to it one more time.
4, 3. We have ignition. 2, 1.
Exactly.
Liftoff. United Launch Alliance Atlas V
I love
rocket.
that noise. I love that noise so much. Oh, it's the best. You guys remember that episode of Top Gear where James May's talking about the pit? You know, when you're driving a nice car, you get the pit. You get the pit. Oh, that's freaking sweet. Whew. That's nice. I love that noise. I love that noise. I've heard that noise, dude. It's the best. The fizz. Yeah, the fizz. The fizz. You get the fizz, Tessa. It's the fizz. That's right. You get the fizz. The fizz. You know? The fizz. Yeah, yes, Nick. I hope it's out of my system before the wedding. That would be bad. That would be very bad. I'm just kidding. It won't be bad at all. But also, can you smell the rocket exhaust at all, or is it too far from that? It's too far, and you wouldn't want to do that. The SRB exhaust is not the best thing to be breathing. Yeah. I need to retweet Kerbal. I'm gonna retweet this. Stop what you're doing and watch this. Okay, stop what you're doing and watch this. Ah, yeah, we'll put listen. Well, do you need a PC upgrade for KSP 2? I don't know, maybe. Stop what you're doing and watch. Listen to this. This tweet look good? Alright, stop. Collaborate and listen. KSP's back with a brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly. No. It's stop. Oh, yeah. Stop. No. What if I'm in the middle of a call of callouts for a high visibility rocket launch? Yeah, no, it's fine. Chuck, it's Marvin, your cousin Marvin Berry. You know that new sound you looking for? Well, listen to this. Send it. Consider it sent. I love the double and triple take you just did. I always double check my tweets, dude. Okay. Let's load up KSP. We got shuttle missions to do. Okay. Thomas, Amaze and I were talking about the separation system on Starship and came up with a theory. The spin separation has been completely ditched in favor of engine chill lines. The clamps on Super Heavy would open and the engine chill line would provide thrust to allow for the separation of the two due to the amount of stuff that gets shot out before ignition. You can also see the exit line of the exit line is slightly nozzle shaped. It's a press fitting, dude. It's a press fitting. I'm like almost 100% sure. Yeah, that's just, those are just press fittings. Right there. Buzz. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's a collet, dude. Basically, it's a pipe that's shaped like a collet, so it's a pipe with the front that the end is tapered, and it's a press fitting. It's designed to seal when they click into thing, and it uses the mass of the vehicle to hold it together. Kerbal replied to you, by the way. Oh, what are they up to? What if we haven't stopped watching? Yeah. Yeah. Been watching this for like the past, for the last 45 minutes. Been watching this on repeat for the last 45 minutes. So I think, yeah, I think that's good. Here. Double check me, chat. Because the best thing to do on the internet when you're typing something is show it to everybody. Because if you made a mistake, someone will let you know. Do you see the claw catcher parts on the KSC pad? Yeah, the trolley is the claw carriage or the chopstick carriage is at 39 if that's what you're talking about. Looks good to me. Oh, you know what? We gotta put some. We gotta put the lull emojis on there. This is how you social media, right? You gotta put 3. I don't know why it's 3. You gotta put 3. 2 looks weird and 1 is just like. You gotta put 3 because if you put the crying laughing emojis on there, it's like, yeah, been watching this on repeat for like the past 45 minutes, man. As opposed to, yeah, been watching this on repeat for like the last 45 minutes. See the difference? There's a difference, okay? There's a difference. Reply, send it. RT 62. Are we going to Mun? Soon. Flippy 59 months. 3 is the perfect amount. Oh, I totally agree. Did you see there's a new update for KSP 1? Yeah. I've seen it. I haven't read the patch notes yet. So that would be perfect for one of your screens. Oh boy, this is cool, man. It's cool. I'm so happy that Kerbal has this type of outreach. I remember back like 2015, 2016, Das and I had a conversation about this, and we were like, why don't they go to NASA and just talk to people? And like, why don't they go to ULA? We have an in at ULA. Go to ULA. Go talk to them for outreach and stuff. I'm so happy that they're actually doing it. It's amazing, man. It really makes me happy. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Could still be double use though. The spin separation would also have a slight issue where the rear clamp would impact the lower rim of the ship, which is why we came up with this. The fact that they moved the engine chill line multiple times to be closer to the flaps also made more sense for a separation system to make sure there aren't any rotational forces. Yeah. Is that the only 2? Buzz? Oh, Drummer, you got to hear that video, dude. It's unbelievable. Are they only... Is there only 2, Thomas? I found out a facility that built components for the Ajax... Oh, the Nike Ajax missiles in the Cold War had someone pour radioactive stuff down the drain in the 70s. The facility handled cesium-137. Cries in Captain Planet. They're feeding directly off of the engine lines. Interesting. Thomas, yeah, I mean, Zach, I didn't talk to Zach, but I saw what he said about it. I haven't talked to Zach in a little bit, but Zach was saying those are press fittings, and they definitely look like press fittings, and I trust Zach's judgment, dude. And I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm not, Thomas, I'm not entirely sure that it's located 15 minutes from your college campus. Well, I hope that doesn't get in the groundwater. Joe, cesium kills humans. Pretty good, actually. Yeah, pretty good. That's cesium-137 is what came out of the Chernobyl reactor, amongst with a cocktail of other things that you probably don't want in you or near you. What's that small pipe connected to one of the RVACs? That's a strut, Kiranov. Yeah, strut. The vacuums the vacuum engines are fixed. These are the ones that have gimbal. Honestly, in space, guys, you really don't need that much. You don't need that much thrust vectoring. Seriously. These things could be fine with a attitude control system. It'll be all right. You can steer with that. If they have an ACS up at the front, and we know they do from the landings, right? That'd be enough to keep this on an even keel when it's burning. But the question here is TWR, to be honest with you. So Starship is going for the refueling route. because they're going for the refueling route, and because they literally have more thrust in the second stage than most rockets have in the first stage, they're going to opt for high energy transfers, especially to the moon. Like I don't see any other way to do this. You're not going to go with a low energy transfer. You want high energy transfers like Apollo, because you're going to ideally have people on board eventually, right? So even with all this thrust down here, like they could run off 3 with the ACS, or they could run all 6 engines with thrust vectoring. All 6 with thrust vectoring would work. But 3 of them with the attitude control system for a little better, for a little more efficiency, you get higher specific impulse here, but you also have a higher dry mass. That would work too. I mean, they'll probably, knowing SpaceX, like I said, they're opting for those high energy transfers, so they're probably going to fire all 6 on a TLI burn, because TLI burn. Took a few pictures from a distance the other day. It was also a Fairchild plant. It got in the sewer system in the 70s. Tar Heel Army missile plant sits abandoned in Burlington, North Carolina on January 9th. The plant manufactured components for Nike Ajax missiles during the Cold War under Western Electric and manufactured the AT-21 trainer aircraft for Fairchild during World War II. One of the buildings was used to conduct tests using radioactive substances, including cesium-137 and Americium. Yeah, Americium. Yeah, 241. That's also not good for you. The site today presents environmental hazards, including asbestos. Oh, no, asbestos is good for the body. Just breathe it in. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah, the asbestos will kill you. Slowly. Yeah, not a good thing. Anyway, Joe, can we switch to talking about trains? To be honest, as long as we're looking at your pictures, can we talk about trains? Talk about the M Fleet 4 cars right here. See, M Fleet 4, very nice, very nice. M Fleet cars. I love M Fleet cars. Am Fleet is so okay. If you're American, you know what Amtrak is, right? If you're European, this is our federal passenger service, the Amtrak trains, and they have the most aesthetic looking cars. They're called Am Fleet or Amtrak Fleet, and that's the Mark IV. The Am Fleet cars look really cool. They're really cool looking cars. They're very, very aesthetic because they have open wheel. So the bogie is actually integral on the inside of the truck, right? So you just see the open wheel. I thought that's cool. I think that looks sick, personally. That's very, very aesthetic. So that's your British Rail? Yeah, if you could call it that. But yeah, the M Fleet cars are very cool. Hey, is that South Station? Looks like South Station. See, these cars are very, very sleek. Very cool looking. Thoughts on the Bombardier multi-level coach? That's my usual ride to work. Those are nice. That looks like the train to Nova Prospect, to be honest, though. The new trains coming to Holland are a bit meh. Dude, I don't know. Amfleet is a vibe, man. Those cars look really cool. I just wish they did something useful. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Look at these trains. So, that's an F40PH, and then there's Amfleet 1 cars right there. There's Amfleet 1, Amfleet 2, Amfleet 4, and then Surfliner cars. Interesting. What do you think of the new Amtrak Arrows? Amtrak Arrows. Let me see. Honestly, forgettable. It's nice. It's a nice looking locomotive. Don't get me wrong. That's very forgettable. The M fleet cars, like I said, they're aesthetic, dude. You know them when you see them. That's why that's cool. Look at those things. You know when you see an M fleet car, Joe. And once again, look at the wheels look like they're free floating, which is freaking sweet. I always thought that looked really cool. You know, free floating bogies like that. I don't even know if that's what it's called, but look, the wheel doesn't look like it's attached to anything. I think that's aesthetic as hell, man. I think that looks cool. You know, in an ideal world where Amtrak has cash, they should just cut and buff this thing so it's super shiny and it would look amazing. Yep, that's a train. Yeah, they look like Airstreams. Yeah, they're cool, man. They're really cool, actually. Those Amfleet cars are sick. Very well made. You know how I know they're well made? Because those Amfleet cars are like 30 years old. Amfleet 4 has been around forever. Don't tell nobody. Yeah, passenger service over here, like I said, not the most ideal. Bud cars. I love Bud cars, dude. Oh, Joe. One last thing before we fire up the shuttle. Because that's what we're doing today. You have double-decker trains in the U.S.? Yeah, sure, Kiranov. The Surfliner. Those Surfliner cars that I was showing you are double-deckers. I've ridden the Surfliner. Cool train. When railroad's online. Dude, I've been having... With the model trains and stuff, man, I've been having the hankering to do it. Joe, check this out. If you're ever up in New Hampshire, okay, go up to the White Mountains in Lincoln, all right. I don't know what these things are doing here, right? So this is Lincoln, New Hampshire. It's a ski resort town for the most part. They have the Hobo Railroad, and the Hobo Railroad is cool, right? It's cool because they have a bunch of. It's a scenic train, right? But on one of the sidings of the Hobo Railroad, or just a spur off of this track, and I don't know if Hobo Railroad owns this, but they have 4 MBTA Bud cars. When I was up at my buddy's wedding a month ago, or a couple of months ago now, we drove through here, and I drove right here, and I went and looked at them. I didn't snoop too hard, dude. But, yeah, there's 4 Bud RDCs right there, which are awesome. Those are really cool. Bud RDC cars, guys, they look like a passenger car, but it's a locomotive. It's a locomotive and a passenger car built into one, which is actually really, really freaking cool. And then the Hobo Railroad is good, but if you go over here, my favorite railroad is Conway Scenic, which is over here. Oh, in this shot, they have the Alco. The Alco is going... Oh, my favorite. Isn't that a trolley? Nah, it looks like one, dude. But, yeah, they're called Bud RDCs. That's what it looks like, dude. That's a locomotive. That can pull. It's not a subway car. They're as big as regular passenger trains. Like, they're not light rail. Did you launch last night? We did. First truss segment is up. We're going to get the second, third, fourth, fifth up today, hopefully. Hopefully. Jeb willing. Can we go back to talking about RDCs? Embrace the fun bridge. This is my ride to work when I forget to charge your scooter. Oh, that's the most Northern California thing I've ever heard you say. Yeah, the Market Street Rail at Mena. Market Street. Yeah. That's a heritage fleet, right? Because it's, you operate those because it's cool. You want to see something crazy? Want to see something crazy? We operate those because we have to in parts of our mass transit system. Oh, we have those. We have PCC. We have PCC rail cars. Yeah, they are not like a touristy heritage thing. The Mattapan Ashmont line, the high speed line, is really old. It's a really old right of way, and there is no money to upgrade it to the heavier cars, so they use PCC cars still. The MBTA is actively maintaining a fleet of 80-year-old rail cars because they have to. Yeah. Yeah. He fixed the curvy bridge. Oh, yeah, that's way better. That's way better. Yep. Do the train lines around you get a lot of action? Heard you got CSX. No. Well, yes and no. But yeah, the Ashmont-Mattapan high-speed line. Yeah, they have to use PCCs because the right-of-way is too heavy. Is not good enough for the heavier rail cars. PCC cars, Vin, are from the 30s. That's when that design came out, 1930. You know the LA subway terminal? The one that I made in Minecraft? That subway terminal was designed for PCC rail cars. Yeah. All these rail cars were manufactured in the 40s. Yeah. Oops. Looks cool, must be a headache to maintain. Yeah. It is a vibe, though. Yeah, so, yeah, man, I know. PCC streetcars, they're still good, man. They still work. Yeah, exactly. You have one. Yep. Yeah, Market Street has one. I saw it. I saw it when we at TwitchCon 2015. I saw that car. I think you were there, Edmana. I'm pretty sure you were with me when that happened. We rode a PCC streetcar to it's not called the ferry terminal. It's at the end of Market Street. Yeah, man. Yeah, we went to Fisherman's Wharf. That's right. I remember now. Yeah, dude. I recognized one of these cars because I'm like, that's supposed to be a heritage car. We still use those. I'm sorry. It's funny to me. It's funny to me. It's all like, oh, Boston Elevated Railway. So that one's painted in Orange Line livery, and the reason why it says Elevated Railway is because the Orange Line used to be elevated. They sunk it into the ground in the 70s. Let's go over here. Yeah. Is that a Canadiens jersey? No, it's an 06 jersey. So Boston had a forceful redevelopment of the urban area via eminent domain in the 70s, and yes, it pissed a lot of people off. The Orange Line right there, they put it in the ground. See, all this was redone in the 70s, and see how they put it in the ground. That used to be elevated rail, and you could see that the road right there it's a weird looking road because it used to have an elevated train above it, and you could see exactly where the elevated train went, which is funny to me. It met up at Back Bay. That's where the orange and the Orange Line and the commuter rail meet up at Back Bay Station. But yeah, it's funny because the buildings are still curved. The buildings are still curved to show the radius of that, the chord radius of that track, because it used to meet up with the main line right there. I saw the top town in the state, my guy. Did I miss all KSP launches? Yep, I finished everything. The station's built. I'm leaving now. Bye. Pack it in. We're good. Oh, look at that. Elvis, you guys, yeah, PCCs were the presidential committee. PCC railcars were an open patent. Anyone could build them. So there's like Soviet PCCs, there's French, there's Dutch, there's German PCCs. Yeah, they're all over the place. A PCC in the building you built a little while ago. Yep, there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow. Yeah, right. Troll face. That's gross. I don't want to do that again. Man, now I want to play railroads, but we have work to do. Let's go. All right, so let's get ourselves shored up. Let me get my notebook out, and we got to write up the mission profile here for using the arm. Let's get the tunage. You have a launch window, right? For the most part, yeah, because the station is 6 degrees inclined. So if you guys didn't see yesterday, I did put the first component up. It was a little bit of a weird mission, but we did okay. So if we go into station operations and check out the ONC file that I've been working on for the past couple of weeks, yeah. Arm lock checkout. I already fixed it. So anything that's attached to this up here is a component that's been delivered. And I try to make the craft file represent how the Z1 truss segment actually is right now. So consider this my ground mock-up right here. That is what's up in the air. We have all the rest of this to deliver. I did, Jim. I knew exactly what was wrong. It wasn't locked. The arm was not locked. Literally, during that shuttle flight, it was wiggling around inside of the payload bay. Yeah. Oops. That could have been catastrophically bad, but thankfully my secondary systems caught it. Meaning that the hybrid tech is the reason why it didn't just completely obliterate itself on the way up. The arm, I usually lock the robotics out on the arm, and I also I lock the robotics out, we auto strut it, and then the shuttle's arm, because it's going to be going up and down all the time, has a hybrid tech locking system. I made it triple redundant on purpose, and my secondary system caught it. So, you know, I don't want to hear anybody give me crap about how much time I spend engineering these systems. When I'm sitting here staring deep in thought and I do something like
Discovery,
like that, I'm thinking about that. That's the stuff that I'm thinking about. What's the plan for today? Has EJ launched any part? You know what I'm going to do? You know what? I got an idea. Here's what we'll do.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
This looks like a Supreme sticker bomb or something. Here, I'm just gonna mark this as launched components. You know, one of those things where you stare at a word for long enough, and if you stare at it long enough, the word sounds weird. Like, am I spelling that right? Graphic design is my passion. Lunched. Don't say that. I'm going to get hungry. I have a KSP orbit question. Is there a way to change shift my AP and PE while keeping the same orbit? Okay. What's up, Creep? Yeah, of course, dude. Okay. Here. All right, so what you're talking about is one of the elements, there's six types of parameters that define an orbit. They're called orbital elements right here. Here you go. This definitely applies to KSP, okay? So there's obviously the ones that you use the most in KSP, which is inclination, eccentricity, semi-major axis. So basically the altitude, the shape, and the tilt of the orbit, right? What you're trying to change, okay? What you want to change is the argument of periapsis. Or, you could change argument, perigee, or you could change longitude of ascending node if you're in a circular orbit, okay? So, what does that? What does that is burning radial in and radial out. Radial in and radial out changes the longitude of ascending node. And argument of periapsis is a little bit different. That's basically where the periapsis is relative to a reference, relative to what's called a reference direction, right? Longitude of ascending node is basically the longitude indication of when your orbit crosses the equatorial plane of the celestial body that you're orbiting around. Basically when you fly over the equator. You can change these two. A radial in and out orbit will change these two. But, so here's the thing. When you're thinking about burn directions in KSP, right? When you're thinking about burn directions in KSP, right? You have 6 axes, right? You're working in 3 dimensions. So over here, you have prograde, right? Over here, you have retro, right? Up here, you have the old angry triangle, or you have the triangle, right? And then down here, you have the angry triangle. Right? So that's called normal, anti-normal. Normal and anti-normal mostly are used for changing inclination. And then out here, you have stuff that looks like this, right? And stuff that looks like this, right? For the most part, I forget if radial is like that or not. I forget what the radial out node or the radial in node looks like. Actually, I think relative to reference frame, I think that one is out. And then that one with the ones on the inside are in. Okay, so you have radial out, radial in, posigrade, retrograde, you have normal, and you have anti-normal, okay? So, Creep, you have these 6 axes. What you gotta understand is that, okay, so you want to change argument of perigee, all right? You want to do that, but you want to stay in the same orbit. So if you wanted to change argument of perigee, it would be just a radial in or radial out burn, depending on where you are. Now, here's the thing. If you get really good at KSP, you can combine these nodes, and you can actually save delta V doing this, right? SpaceX does that all the time with super synchronous insertions. They basically burn into an orbit for the satellite to deploy in that has the ascending node lined up with the apogee, or the highest point in the orbit. It saves satellites delta V to do one burn that kills inclination, that changes inclination, and circularizes at the same time. Okay? So if you wanted to keep the same orbit, right? You wanted to keep the same orbit, but you wanted to change the ascending node, you'd burn this way. Burn halfway between posigrade and radial in, and you'll shift but stay in the same orbit. Right? Because burning radial in is going to lower your AP, but burning prograde will raise it. If you split the difference there between radial in and posigrade, right? Burn halfway in between them, you'll stay in the same orbit because you're changing argument of perigee, but you're also changing your semi-major at the same time. Radial in will change semi-major accents. Change semi-major axis. Does that make sense? Now, if you want to get really slick, you can combine all three of them and you could burn up here. You could burn 45 degrees off of all three of these things and kill inclination, change your ascending node, and change prograde at the same time. I mean, that works in any direction. Basically, you have a 360 degree sphere here, right? So let me draw one this way, right? Then draw one that way. You have a sphere, and you could burn in any direction, right? You just got to figure out where you want to burn relative to what you're doing. And you can change this stuff. Easy peasy. It also, Rocket Guy's right, it really depends on where you do it. Where you do it. If you want to change your AP and PE and kind of stay in the same orbit, you want to shift argument of periapsis or longitude of ascending node. If you want to do that, I think you want to change argument of perigee right here. You want to change that one. So if you want to change that one, burn halfway between AP and PE. So if your AP is right on your descending node and your PE is on the ascending node, right? You'd want to burn up here. You'd want to burn halfway between them. That's the burn point is super important. I'll give a quick demonstration as to why it's super important. Let me just erase my whiteboard here. Undo. Okay, it doesn't want to do that. Erase the blackboard. Class, are you paying attention? Hello, no, are we supposed to be? Just select the tool and delete. I don't want to. There's a spit wad. Okay, who'd you spit that at, Fanuel? Who were you trying to spit at? Because if I was a teacher, whoever you spit that at, they get to shoot a spitball back at you now. Still not using his telestrator thing, for shame. Hey, AJ, have you tried just doing all these things that I want you to do? You're in a 1,500 kilometer parking orbit, then setting up to get to Geo. I'm setting up a Tidris constellation. Yeah, doing what I said, burning radial in and posigrade at the right time will definitely fix it. Fine tune it with RCS. That didn't do nothing, Teach. Give me your hall pass. Are those a thing? Do we still have hall pass? I forget why I was erasing the blackboard. Sorry. Do they still do hall passes? If you're in a near circular orbit, this maneuver may not be necessary in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, Creeper, if you're trying to build a constellation, you don't need to line up AP and PE of every satellite. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Your eccentricity is the real big one. Actually, it's more orbital period than anything. The orbital period has to be the same, and the AP and PE of each thing need to be pretty damn close, because they'll fall out of phase if you don't match everything. You want to get the AP and PE the same as all your satellites, but they don't need to be in the same exact spot. You know what I mean? If you get AP&P, right, and you're phased at 120 degrees because you're building TDRS, it doesn't really matter what the longitude of ascending node is. You really don't have to take that into account as much. The orbital period is the biggest one. Now, in real life, oh, that absolutely makes a difference. It'll fall out of phase real quick if you're not careful. And obviously, there's a bajillion different orbital perturbations up there, but... yeah, all that stuff really matters in real life. It doesn't really matter in Kerbal because you don't have to worry about perturbing forces. Launched. You erase the paintboard to show an example of why timing is important to change the orbit. Yeah, Shin, I remember, but I don't remember the example that I came up with, dude. I'll perturb your orbit. No, you won't. All right, so the Z1 is up there, and what we have to do today is we need to get the docking ring 1 and the Alpha Lab up there. Andrew, what's up, man? You can't stop me. Yeah, I can. I just did. Deal with it. Yeah, Shin, so, like, the timing absolutely matters on an orbit. I mean, for rendezvous or for phasing or whatever, it really depends on what you're doing. But, yeah, I forget the example that I was coming up with. Not a good start for me, but... That you won't do it again? Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns. Alright, let's do this. So the Z1 segment is up. Anything that's attached here to here is anything that's attached here to here is launched component. Anything that's down on these pedestals down here has not been launched. But we're going for the Alpha Lab today, which is this one right here. Now, I'm not gonna lie, you know, the Alpha Lab has those pieces sticking out the top of the payload bay, and I really don't like that. But honestly, I was thinking what we could do is just flip the module upside down and change the integration points, but that does affect my mission parameters a little bit. So I'm gonna fiddle with this thing real quick. Just to see. Now, I have the Alpha Lab and the docking ring loaded up. They're in the shuttle ready to go. What's the root of the central truss? And nobody will see the stuff poking. And what is the root of the central truss? And nobody will see the stuff poking out. Yeah, that's true. The root is this girder segment here. What is the root of the central truss and nobody sees stuff poking out on the lab? Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, what we need to do is avoid what happened with the Z1. Z1 deploy, I didn't practice any of the robotic maneuvers with this thing. So we gotta practice this stuff. So what we have to do here I'm just gonna put this up here. Launched. Oh, that's the block 1 orbiter. We don't want that. We did launch, yes. We need the 1C orbiter craft file. So let's bring the shuttle in. Reroute this because we're only using it for mock-up purposes.